This podcast is part of the Big Heads Media Podcast Network. Go to bigheadsmedia.com for more great podcasts. Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to Massive Late Fees Dumpster Diving. We talk about the 80s and 90s and, I don't know, whatever. Any era of television that is...
The 40s. We skewer the Amos and Amos show in this one.
Yeah, exactly. It was Andy was on strike, so they did an episode where it was just Amos and Amos. It didn't work very well.
Like, that's a little too much Amos.
And it's the 40s version, so it's the white guys. It's the white guys doing black voices.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Well, now, boss, or whatever however they talk. It's weird because you would think that they'd all just do that mid-Atlantic accent that they all just did back then. Well, now all the ships at sea.
Yeah, you think so, but they just couldn't, pass on the opportunity to be racist.
Right. But they thought that accent was going to go places, that mid-Atlantic accent.
Like, come on, guys. We're not going to be able to be racist forever.
Yeah.
Like,
I wonder if they did think that. Let's take advantage of this while it's here. One day this is going to be frowned upon, but we can get away with this now.
I don't know that we can. No. I think us mentioning it is worse than them doing it to some people.
Maybe, yeah, because trigger warning. Everyone out there, upsetting things existed in the past. Trigger warning.
I think he should have mentioned that earlier. People are just now getting through our show and then getting to this. It's like, I think he could have told us 100 episodes ago.
Right? Oh, yeah. So, yeah, if you're sensitive about us acknowledging the existence of the past, then, it's might be a problem for you, this show.
Go find an adult and see if they get, teach you a few things.
Yeah. It's so, like... Of course, Mickey Rooney doing his best buck-teethed pigeon, accent in Breakfast at Tiffany's is terrible. But pointing out that it existed, shouldn't be a trigger for people.
Right, but I'm sure it is for some people.
They stole that, by the way, from autistic kids.
Trigger. So what?
Trigger. Yeah. The whole trigger warning and the whole triggered thought process, quiet
space and that sort of thing.
Exactly. Yeah, they stole that from autistic kids. The ones that actually needed it, just like they stole the gluten-free shit from celiac patients.
Yeah, my wife and I were talking about the gluten thing the other day. It's just it's kind of ridiculous how many people start treating themselves for something that they don't know they have.
Yeah, and don't actually have. But they're just like, celiac patients do this. Is better, it's better to do it this way.
Brooke Shields doesn't eat gluten. So,
yeah, exactly. Why don't you put your kid on a vegan diabetic diet? And by kid, I mean your infant. Just starting to eat solid foods. Do that, and then the child coffin industry can explode in pop. We'll put some money in stock in child coffin industry, and then we'll be good.
Oh, you mean child cough?
Yeah, exactly. Child cough, right?
There actually was recently a 18-month-old who died, and I really don't think it's fair that they did say they blamed a vegan. It was in the headline vegan diet. Kid on 18-month-old on vegan diet dies. I think it was just pure neglect in a lot of ways. The child was not dehydrated; it was dehydrated, which an 18-month-old can be dehydrated. But 20 pounds at 18 months, it was a disgusting story.
Yeah.
But it was kind of weird how they broke veganism and hey, this will get some headlines.
The headline should have just been parents murder child.
Exactly. People can obviously get a vegan diet to work with their children. I can't remember who it was. It was it was kind of interesting. I didn't realize this. The RZA, he was on the Joe Rogan show. He said his youngest child has never had any animal product ever. But obviously he's being fed responsibly and not just whatever the hell this person did.
Yeah. If you work with an actual doctor, there are supplements that or like foods that will supplement certain things. Like for instance, babies, they need a lot of fat because the brain feeds on fat, and that's why they'll tell you, if you're gonna give a baby milk, to give it whole milk because it needs that fat for its for its
and
brain
breast
development.
milk
Yeah,
is vegan. Obviously, it's not. I mean, technically, humans are animals, but it's not
right.
considered an animal product.
Correct. Yeah, and yeah, so breast milk obviously is a good alternative, but there are lots of alternatives for where babies can get their fat and things like that. So yeah, I'm not implying you can't responsibly feed your baby a vegan diet, but I do think it's ridiculous how people will say like, well, we should eat this diabetic diet because we don't have diabetes and we're perfectly healthy otherwise, but it's probably just better for us.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I was actually looking at a vegan diet because I had done one previously, and I just like I love meat too much,
I
so
know,
it's
me
kind of hard
too.
on a vegan diet. Like I just love the taste of meat.
Me too.
Um, but then I was just there's this thing called the Game Changers, which I think I talked about briefly last time, where
Mhm.
it was like they're talking about the advantages, but like then I was listening to this thing on the Joe Rogan where this guy was like disputing all the information. It actually made a lot of sense. Like he was saying, like I mean, sure, there's the same amount of protein in like a can of beans and like a steak, or like a cut of steak, but
Mhm.
at the same time the bioavailability of the protein is like much lower. Like it's like a
Yeah.
magnitude of like 10, so you would have to eat like 10 times as much.
Yeah,
But
that's
yeah,
a big
so I mean,
big issue with that.
yeah, that's a big concern for me, because obviously I'm a totally ripped mega athlete, so I can't
Absolutely. Mike
get enough, not get
Mike is
enough
pumping
protein.
iron constantly, so you need
Yeah,
that protein.
yeah, you're gonna need it. But yeah, so this week we watched Punky Brewster.
Yeah. Speaking of protein, uh, Punky Brewster sure ate her Wheaties and stuff because she grew quite into the woman.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know how long this show was on for because she's a lot younger here than I remember her being on the show. Like she might she might be like oh no, the thing you're talking about occurred when she was like in her teens, and also we were at that time younger than her, so
Yeah,
we still
yeah.
are,
Yep.
because I don't think she was murdered or anything. I mean, I probably would have made the news
Nah, I'm pretty sure that Soleil Moon Frye is still alive.
unless she's like dead in a refrigerator somewhere.
Right? Yes, she could be. This no, yeah, she's 43 years old, so she's a little bit older than us. But yeah, it is sort of weird to go back and watch Punky Brewster now, knowing kind of what she grew up. I think she was in one of those Poison Ivy movies or something like that. That she was
Oh,
in.
really? I gotta track that down.
She was in something like that, I think.
I know Alyssa Milano was in those movies, or
Yeah.
some vampire movie. I think something like that.
Apparently, so this show ran from September 16th, 1980
11th.
September 11th, 1984. So she would have been 8 when the show premiered, to March 9th, 1986, and then again in syndication, so it became a syndicated show from October 30th, 1987 to May 27th, 1988. Technically, it has 4 seasons, 2 on NBC and 2 in syndication. Apparently, first for Columbia Pictures, which makes sense. And or no, I'm sorry, first for Coca-Cola Telecommunications.
Oh, geez.
Coca-Cola apparently had their own first run syndicated unit. Oh wait. A division of Columbia Pictures, because I forgot Coca-Cola or Columbia owns Coca-Cola, or Coca-Cola owns Columbia. One of the ways around, one of those ways around.
Huh.
Yeah. And I think actually I believe that Columbia has been purchased by Sony, so I think they have some sort of stake in Sony too. I'm not sure, but that's why
Huh.
when you see product placement in Sony movies, it's always Coca-Cola.
I always think it's funny when like athletes like endorse like like fast food or like Coke and that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah,
Like I mean, Michael Jordan's like he's going to McDonald's and just like shoveling down like a full Big Mac, large fries, a 32-ounce Coke, and he's just going on and just lighting up the other.
yeah.
Although if you are a super mega athlete, much like myself, Usain Bolt, he apparently ate like 1,000 chicken McNuggets at the Olympics when he broke all the records.
Yeah, well, it doesn't surprise you're burning a ton of calories.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. I guess the McDonald's are like free to all the athletes, which is again kind of weird. Like I don't know that I would assume their diets are more strict than that.
I would think so. Obviously, there are better ways to get protein and fat than fast food.
Yeah, especially during the period where they've been training for 4 years.
Right.
The 2 week window of performance. Like that's not really when you're really like, hey, I can really treat myself now.
Yeah, let me let myself go.
But yeah, Punky Brewster, plucky young lady with. This is weird to me. She's the guy Henry who like. I don't know how he's like her guardian or something. Like I don't know if he adopted her or what.
So here's the story, because I actually do know this story. She is like an orphan. Like her parents died, and she was living in.
That's usually what makes you an orphan,
right? She was living in an abandoned, not abandoned, but like an empty apartment in this apartment building, and hiding out. And she had the dog Brandon, named after Brandon Tartikoff. Because apparently Brandon Tartikoff had a crush on some girl named Punky when he was a kid, and so he named... And she actually appears in an episode, the girl that it's based on. But anyway, so she had her and her dog Brandon were hiding, and Brandon started to bark, and Henry found her because Henry is the landlord of the building, and that's how he went to court and, went through the proper channels and everything, and that's how he decided to foster her instead of
I see.
Instead of basically just sending her to an orphanage because she didn't want to go to an orphanage.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if he had adopted her or what. I was saying it's kind of a weird choice, like a single guy who doesn't seem to be super well off. Like, looks like they're kind of in a bad neighborhood with the apartment building.
Yes, it's not a great neighborhood.
Yeah, a bad neighborhood in Chicago. Is this in Chicago?
Yes, I believe it does take place in Chicago.
I thought it was. See, it's probably not. You probably don't want to let some orphan child go there, but whatever. It's the 80s.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess it could have come off as sort of creepy, but George Gaines, for those of you who are aware of the 80s staple Police Academy, he's Commandant Lassard.
That's right. That's where he's from. The voice, I should have known.
But he's he's a genial enough old guy that I don't think it really comes across as creepy.
Yeah, he doesn't come across as creepy at all.
There is one line, though, where towards the end, that annoying little fucking kid, Alan, is upset that he doesn't know CPR, and George, puts his arm around him, or Henry puts his arm around him, and he goes, come on, let's learn it together.
You know what's funny? I took notes on this episode, and that's one of my notes is everyone hates this fucking Alan kid.
Oh, yeah, he's terrible.
I actually left my notes in the other computer, which isn't helpful.
No, well, apparently the guy.
So, here's another shit show, everyone.
Have you seen a picture of Casey Ellison, the guy that played Alan, lately?
No, he probably looks crazy.
He looks like his hair has been electrified. I think he got some really bad plugs. That's what it looks like to me.
Well, good for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Punky is this plucky young kid who, like you said, has a dog named Brandon. And I don't know, the dog's weird. Do you know there's a cartoon, Punky Brewster? And she had this flying alien guy and also the dog?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know that. So Punky has this friend Alan who's a complete piece of shit. Everyone knows this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
her friend good. Cherry, who's like a nice kid, And then Margot's this other kid who's like a total asshole. I mean, it's like she has one good friend out of 4.
Right. Yeah, she's the generic rich snob.
Yeah, so they're doing CPR at the beginning of the episode, and it's a very detailed. I think they might have actually been teaching CPR during this part because there was not a single joke in this entire 5 to 6 minute session of CPR.
Yeah, they're in class with the original janitor from Saved by the Bell. And
no, he was a teacher, wasn't he, Milo? No,
I think he was the janitor.
Okay, maybe he was. Yeah. I thought I actually thought he was a guy from Designing Women for a second, but I realized it wasn't because I just I knew he was from something, so I looked it up. He was on Good Morning Miss
Meshack Taylor. Yeah, Meshack Taylor's the guy from Designing Women, who was also in Mannequin. And Mannequin 2 on the Move. He's the only one to reprise his role, and he delivers the best line of Mannequin 2 on the Move when the guy goes, because it's completely unrelated. The reason that the mannequin is alive is unrelated. Like everything about the movie is unrelated. Except it takes place in a similar department store, and the guy goes, Meshack Taylor's like, look, you're acting really weird. What is going on? And he's like, you would never believe me if I told you. And he's like, well, try me. And he's like, well, this mannequin, comes to life or whatever. And Meshack Taylor goes, as Hollywood, his character Hollywood from Mannequin, says, no, I believe you. This has happened before. Could you imagine being this fucking guy thinking you're going nuts and everything because this mannequin's coming to life? You finally unburden yourself, and the guy's response is, oh yeah, this has happened before.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, so this guy is not Meshack Taylor.
You're right. TK something?
Something like that. But yeah, he's like the teacher, I guess. I don't know if he's a teacher all the time. Like, I don't know if it's like, one of those things where it's the same teacher or they switch up. I assume it's like a regular character. I don't know.
Yeah, I think he's just their elementary school teacher.
Yeah, so Alan's like, just fucking around, like, not properly doing CPR, and then
being a total piece of shit. He looks like the worst child in Children of the Corn.
Yeah, like their evil cousin that shows up. That's who Alan is.
Yes.
Like, oh, come on, Malachi. You're not killing enough people.
Yeah, so he's making the lamest jokes.
Yeah, they're really bad. Like, I don't think even the audience is laughing.
Mm-hmm.
And then Punky and Margot are apparently like paramedic level CPR enthusiasts.
Yeah.
That this they do this doll, they do CPR or whatever.
Resuscita Annie.
Yeah, and it's a very 80s doll. Let's put it that way.
Absolutely.
Like it's like got a weird switches and tubes.
The doll has a cocaine problem.
Right. But then we cut to them playing hide and seek outside of the building. That Alan guy has an old. Wait, we forgot about this whole thing. And by we, I mean I. Yeah. The refrigerator's on the fritz. So Alan, who's like the supervisor at this place, but he can't figure out how to fix a refrigerator. I mean, you think at this place especially there'd be a lot of repairs instead of buying new because it's just like a really kind of rundown looking place.
Yeah, it's a slum. He's the landlord of a slum.
Yeah, but he doesn't know how to fix a refrigerator, so he goes and buys one. And he's like missiled by like the salesman who we quickly see does like the same routine on like every customer, and it works perfectly each time. So how this guy is not the world's wealthiest man, I don't know.
Seriously.
So he takes the old refrigerator out. He leaves it there, and actually, I thought he just left it there irresponsibly because I don't remember this episode very well. Mm-hmm. But he did actually go and he went like to look for like something to take the door off, and then in the meantime, Punky and her shitty friends and Sherry as well. Oh, and Sherry has like a mother or something that's always hanging around. It looks like
it's her grandma. Like she's being raised by her grandmother. I think her parents are also dead.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the grandmother looks very young. Good for her. Or bad, I guess, because you're just, your kids are fucking at a young age. Well, either or. But yeah, so they're all kind of milling about the grandmother and Henry, and then Sherry wisely decides to hide in the refrigerator for some reason.
It's a great spot to hide.
I mean, yeah, for sure. I don't know if you see when they open the door of the refrigerator. I don't know if she can fit in there. It doesn't look big enough for her.
No, I agree. She's a tall girl.
Yeah, but anyway, so she gets in the refrigerator, and then Alan or whoever, I think it was Alan, was looking for everybody. He finds everybody, and they can't find Cherry, but Henry actually saw her try to go inside for a second to hide in there, but then she changed her mind. But he had left, so he didn't see her change her mind and go back in the fridge.
He's so insistent she's in the fucking apartment building.
Yeah, he really is. But I mean, he did see her go that way. Yeah, so they all kind of, we can't find Cherry, and Henry goes, it's starting to snow. I'll take this door off later. So they go upstairs, and they spend 5 minutes looking for her. Mm-hmm. And they go back out, and sure enough, she's in the refrigerator, 100% passed out unconscious.
Yeah, not breathing and no heartbeat.
Yeah, which I don't understand. Is that even possible? I mean, she's in this refrigerator for 10 minutes. How much air is this girl breathing?
Seriously. Yeah, so obviously air can run out, but I mean, I don't know. It seems, I suppose, I guess maybe medically it's possible. I mean, not in the amount of time. I don't think at all is it possible. But but I guess, it's medically possible to basically, lose vital signs, suffocate, basically.
Yeah.
And
Suffocation,
then
no
be
breathing.
brought back, I guess you could be. I guess. I don't know.
I guess. I don't know. But yeah, so she's in there, and then sure enough, Henry and goddamn Alan, he doesn't know fucking CPR if his life depended on it.
No, because he got sent
But
to the
luckily,
office because he was a fucking piece of shit.
great. Yeah, so luckily, Punky and Margot, the A team for CPR is there, and easily enough. And I think this is the first time I noticed when I was young that it doesn't look like they're actually doing anything to the chest, because obviously they're not going to do like chest compressions to a living person.
Mm-hmm, right.
But it's just like they actually cut around it, I noticed, but I didn't know. I'm like, yeah, they're definitely not actually pushing down. So for a long time, I think I thought, and since I was taught CPR by television,
Mm-hmm.
that I was unsure as to whether or not you actually pressed or just like did that weird thing with your arms where it looks like you're pressing.
Right. You know what else is funny too is that Punky breathes in and you can see I'm sure Cherry is trying to sell this. She puffs out her stomach, like her stomach's getting filled with air. That's actually a thing that can happen, and it means that you're not doing the CPR correctly. If
Oh,
if their stomach's going up, then basically you're pumping air into their stomach, which is not it's not what you want to do. It's not good for them, and you need to readjust how their head is sitting so that the airways open for you to instead of going down the not the trachea, the esophagus. Instead of going down the esophagus, you're going down the trachea, which is leading to the lungs. But yeah, I thought that was interesting as well.
yeah. So sure enough, they save her life, and then not only Alan but Henry both are basically crying over the fact that they didn't know how to do CPR.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's really kind of weird. It's like a very special episode in a couple ways because they teach CPR, and luckily, I feel that if when I did learn CPR, I would have had to have to do it in like the next week or so, or I would have completely forgot, which I have now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know the basics, but I couldn't guarantee that I'm doing it right if I ever, hopefully would never have to actually do it.
Yeah, we all learned it in high school for health class, and I think we got certified. I want to say, but obviously,
yeah, I got a certification, but I could not tell you how to do it.
Yeah, I think the certifications only last a year or whatever. But yeah, it's been a number of years since we've been in high school, and I've luckily, knock on wood, have never had to actually administer it. So yeah, I doubt I could. I doubt I could do it successfully either. And so many things have changed.
Right.
I know you apparently you don't have to do the breathing anymore. That the chest compressions are really the important part of it.
Huh. Yeah, I definitely would have to look that up.
Yeah, I don't know.
And probably should, because everyone should know CPR. Brought to you by the American Medical Association.
Yep. The guy that plays Cheapo Charlie, I don't know if you're familiar with him. His name is Frank Bonner. He was probably most notably Herb from WKRP in Cincinnati.
Yeah, I didn't really like that show that much.
But he did a tour of basically every 80s show, at least being on one episode. He was on The Love Boat, Fantasy Island, The Facts of Life Goes to Paris.
Oh, no.
Give Me a Break, The Love Boat Again, Newhart, The Duck Factory, which I think is that the Jim Carrey one, I think?
I think it is, yeah.
Simon and Simon.
Not to be confused with Platypus Man.
Right, exactly. But Simon and Simon, one of the best theme songs of all time. That's an instrumental with no lyrics. This is a pretty good theme song too for Punky Brewster.
Oh, really? I hated the theme song. I was going to bring that up actually.
I like the theme song.
It seemed like very hastily put together, and it was very kind of weird to me. It was not one of my favorite '80s theme songs for sure.
There's an extended version of it too.
Oh, is there, Mark?
Yeah. He was also on Night Court. Another great instrumental theme song.
Yeah, I do like Night Court's do 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 do.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah, you gotta love it. But yeah, I mean that's basically the episode. They save her. She says she's hungry, and
yeah, you hear the ambulance, but I don't know that she actually goes to the hospital at any point.
I don't know. I mean, I think what they're trying to imply is that she wasn't without oxygen for very long. Like she was basically suffocating because she was trapped in there, and then she she passed out. She lost breathing.
Yeah, but it stopped her heart though.
Yeah, I know it's crazy. I don't know
I don't think
medically.
Sandwich is gonna fix that.
Yeah, I don't know medically exactly how this would all work, but it feels like they were trying to basically say, "Hey, kids, don't go in refrigerators," and also
Learn CPR.
Yeah, also learn CPR. But it's weird. You would expect in an episode like this for them to come at the end and talk directly to the camera and basically spell out the message.
Yeah, you would.
They don't do that.
Yeah, I don't know if they didn't do that, but I'm not upset about it because I did not like the show. I thought the kids were terrible actors.
Oh yes,
the writing was bad, and it was just. I mean, I don't know, just do something separate. Don't put a fucking message in a show like this. That's dumb. I hate that.
I know why the show only lasted 2 seasons because it's not good. It's the writing, like you said, the writing's not good, and it's not the act. Working with kids is hard enough, but these are not. Sully Moonfry, I think, has had a decent career, but these are not talented actors. I mean, all you need to know is that Sherry Johnson, that's her character's name. Her real name is also Sherry Johnson, so she couldn't learn another name.
I think this is a vanity project by Brandon Tartikoff. He's trying to hook up with this Punky chick years later.
Exactly.
And he probably did from the way it sounds, like, she got on the set again.
Yeah.
So he probably, plowed her, and then he's like, yeah, I don't care anymore. This show sucks.
Yeah, she played a teacher in one of the episodes, and I'm pretty sure that you're right. Like, that Brandon Tartikoff was just like, I always wanted to fuck this Punky chick. Now I'm the president of a huge network. I'm gonna make a show specifically for the purpose of getting her on set so I can fuck her, and then, we'll let the show get canceled.
Yeah, I think that's what happened here.
Well, good for Brandon Tartikoff, the late Brandon Tartikoff. Good for you, sir.
Congratulations.
I hope you're looking up at us from where you ended up.
Jeez.
But anyway,
the show isn't that bad.
Well, he also did Saved by the Bell. I don't know if he always wanted to fuck Haley Mills or.
And then Richard Haskins afterward.
It would be funny if we learned that every show NBC did during this run was just because he wanted to hook up with somebody else.
Yeah.
He put Alf on the air because he always wanted to hook up with Willie.
Well, we know that wouldn't be an issue, Max, right? Rest in peace.
All right. Well, we will see you next time. Bye.
See you next time.